Hello, my name is Michael Provost, and I'm going to be talking about drawing perfect play. A few years ago, when I first started coaching high school football, I originally thought calling plays was going to be very easy. Like, you just pick any play and you go about it. However, I've quickly learned that it's not that easy. It's not like playing a video game and you just pick a play and pray it works. You have to learn how to scout the team you're playing against. You have to know your team and how well they work. Like, does the play work for them, and so on. But as I got older and got more into this game, I've seen it unfold has just changed my mind entirely, and it's reminded me why I've loved coaching. Designing a football play is more than just X's and O's and getting guys to these spots and such. You have to make sure these guys really understand what's going on and why they do it. It's not about just do it this way and that's the only way it goes. You have to teach these kids and let them understand that every play you see going on Friday nights at high school football games, Saturday mornings for college or youth leagues, and even Super Bowl Sunday, it all starts somewhere, and that somewhere is on a whiteboard. And coaches spend a lot of time during their practice week not just revising plays or drawing them up. It's more about practicing them and getting their guys to understand that. And that's the key part into all of this, is getting the kids or grown men to really buy into what you're doing. And all of that has reminded me how great this game is. So today I'll be showing you how coaches design a basic offensive play. I'll be showing you a concept out of a certain formation, and I'll be using the slant route in that specific formation. And lastly, I'll explain how I adjust and build on that play to keep the defense guessing. Step 1, understanding the offensive positions. Before I draw up any play, I always start with my players. On offense, we got the quarterback in the center, and that's where everything gets started, is just, can the center get the ball to the quarterback, and can the quarterback make the throw? And now we have to work towards running backs and receivers and what they can do, what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. Whenever I start with a play, I usually start with either a 2x2 set, or in this case I'm going to talk about our trip set. So where it's 3 receivers on one side and 1 on the back side. And usually this is where like the slant concept really keys in, especially with a team that plays man or a team that plays a deep zone. It's just, those routes are easy pick routes, and it makes the offense look a lot better, and it's about just getting the ball in the playmaker's hand. So you have to have the right guys out there. And then step 2, designing the play, the slant route. Now that I've got my formation, we're going to work towards how we're going to run it and how we're going to keep it simple. And when you got the trip side over here, usually you want to send 2 guys across, the 2 outside guys across, and 1 guy underneath. And this backside guy, that's where the slant really starts to work, is just getting him to get open space, just because the defense will overload on that trip side, and it'll make that backside guy just a one-on-one with that corner. And that's the easiest position and best position to put yourself in when you're running slants. It's a fast developing route, and as soon as a kid catches it, or whoever, they can run up and go lead and turn it into something that you never expected. I've seen it dozens of times. And this is why I love the offensive side. I've coached on both sides, but offensively, I love seeing plays expand more than just what we drew up. And step 3, I'm just adjusting and then building variations. Like I said, you could work in the trips and run those slant concepts and have that backside guy, or you could work in a 2x2 set, and where you have a slant, so an in route and then an out route, and just getting these linebackers and the corners to cross and getting them to mix up. And that's where slants and short routes always work. quick. It doesn't always have to be a deep play, one play bomb. It's better whenever you start working down the field and let your playmakers play. So in practice, I'm not just teaching them the routes, I'm also teaching my players and my quarterback specifically how to read an outside linebacker in that corner all the way to the safety, and why this works, and the zones involving the slants. It's not just about, let me throw the slant to him. It's about, if there's a linebacker here, this is the first zone, this will be the second zone, and you have to pick. So if the linebacker flows this way, you got to throw it in the second. If he sits in here, I got to throw it now. And it's just about getting that corner to open up and keep every defense guessing. So today I showed you how coaches really design a basic play, like us trips out of a trips formation and running a slant. And it's a simple concept that a lot of people fail to think can work. And it goes back to, like I said, is every play starts with a coach and a whiteboard. It's not about just X's and O's, and now you got to find the guys and keep going from there. So the next time you're watching a football game or attending a high school game, you just really got to understand the time and the effort that all these guys put in, the players, the coaches, and the coaching staff, because it's not just one guy. There's a bunch of guys that always get an input. Thank you.